Come on in. You're going to have to kind of pack in. Just keep coming in. No, it's okay. It's pretty nice. Now, okay, we still got more coming in. Most of you never were in here as students, right? No. So this was the place that sisters came into the order way back. And there's a picture right in the corner, Joan. If you want to hold it up so everybody can see it, the little corner picture, that one. That's the original room. There's a big seat in the corner. That's the bishop's chair. The bishop would have been here to welcome the young women into the order. And some of them were in high school, so they're really young. The mirror on the wall appears to be the original. The ceilings, the walls. In the 70s, I understand they wanted to do paneling over them and didn't. So that's good. The light fixtures are the original, but we're on LED bulbs now to be a little bit more energy efficient. So that's the room itself. Regina Kelly is in the photo right next to you. So that's Regina Kelly. There was a poet here, Ron Churi. He's got to be in his 60s now. And he came in and was doing a poetry reading, and he said, I have a picture of me with one of the nuns. I said, oh, and he starts telling me this story, and I said, can I get just a copy of it? So I put that. The reason it sits there is she's looking out over the Regina Kelly Shakespeare Garden. So I've got her checking her garden out. So she's keeping watch and making sure I'm using correct punctuation. And, if you've never read any of Regina Kelly or Mary Glendon's writing, they could write. Yeah, so you'll see sometimes when I'm talking about like ideal aim, some of the words I'm using, it's code because that was what they called the mission statement. So when I talk about we need to make sure our aim is true and that sort of thing, that's sister talk. The sisters know it, some of you might get it, and the rest have no idea what I'm talking about. So that works out pretty well. In the corner, there are a bunch of plates. Those are gifted by Sister Patty McCann. Do some of you know Sister Patty McCann? I'm so sorry. Sister Patty tells everybody the story of everything that goes wrong is Tommy did it. Tommy did this and Tommy did that. Little bad little boy Tommy, bad little girl Tommy. So she's my nemesis. But she's really sweet. Just retired a few years ago after teaching education for years. And so she brought in the plates so I could show them off and reminded me that I have to wash them by hand. The two paintings on the wall are gifts of Carmen Maffei of Pittston. Some of you might know the magistrate out there, Carmen. And he has given us a gift of an endowed chair in the fine arts in honor of his wife. And so he asked, could we put some of her famous paintings in here? And I liked them a lot, so I was like, that's really cool. So that's where the paintings came from. The Blue Madonna is done by Robert Wilson, who's a retired campus safety officer. And people ask me, is that an original? It's not, or I'd be retired. It's his version of it, but it's really quite nice. Pictures over here of my father signing the papers. He came in, he goes, I never thought I'd get to do this, and he insisted that I take a picture of him running the school. So that was him about a year before he passed, and he's basically given me a C- or something like that.
How old was he?
95, I think, in that picture. Yeah, he passed at 97. The three on the wall are taken by Mary Bove, one of our recent graduates. The one on the right is kind of, it won an award, but he's not really on fire. It's a flaw in the picture. But if you look carefully at his back, it looks like somebody lit him, and he's jumping into the snow. He's not really on fire. But that student walked in my office one day and says, oh, I'm in a picture on the wall. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I had another student come in, and she says, oh, that's nice that you've got my picture up in your office. And it's the one in the center. is Deanna Darling. Mary was her roommate, and she remembered them taking the picture. So she's like, that's nice of you to put my picture up in your office. I was trying not to get too many with snow, but I really liked them. And Mary works in communications now. The books on the shelf are from mainly from faculty, but some staff, an alum, trustee, publications. And so they give me the books that they write about different subjects. There's all kinds of things in there that they write about. There's a picture of Teresa Walsh. There's a drawing from one of the students in the Women with Children program. So we have 16 families living on campus now, 30 graduates from that program. And they'll come in once in a while and either jump on me when I'm not suspecting. It's kind of like, the attack. Or they'll bring in a picture, and so I stick it there so that they can see their pictures and such. And then some of you may have noticed we've got the mission statement up here. And right next to it, Oscar the Grouch saying, go away. That's from Sister Noel. Some of you know Noel and Jean. And they're down the hall down this way. If you want to walk down the hall as we finish here, they're down there, and then we can just go back to Insalacco Hall. But in my inaugural speech, my mother had always talked about she had 13 children. And so people would ask her, well, which one's your favorite? She said, well, whichever one decides to go away. The farther they are, the more I love them. So I said, go away. And so Noel and some others picked up on that. And so you'll see a few go away things around campus. And so the part of the study abroad theme, the students that go away are the ones that are our favorites. And the mission statement, we revised it in 2014, I believe. We used 1,200 phrases solicited from lots of you and lots of friends at the university and boiled it down into one sentence. And it captures us as a school that's Catholic, a school that is mercy, and a school where all are welcome. The charisms are listed as 4 of our core values, and we talk about that, and we try to live through that. So you'll see those around the campus. The last thing is the mace. This is the ceremonial mace. This is made by Regina Kiel. Some of you might remember Regina as a sister who made wedding rings. And she would, when she was ill, she would sit over in Mercy Center. She had a sofa that she said was her office, and she'd be playing with wax and just moving it with her hands. And all of a sudden you'd go, oh, there's flames. She could sculpt flames. And she talked about, our relationship with God and how that she loved making the rings because she could be part of that sacrament of matrimony. She passed away a few years ago. I told some of you earlier, I was trying to find art from the sisters to put in my office, and they wouldn't give me any. And I'm like, what is wrong? What did I do to them? So I kept looking and looking and couldn't find it, and I finally got over to Mercy Center, and Sister Dorothy McLaughlin, who taught art into the 80s, 70s and 80s, has in her room a bunch of art. And there's a coal carving and a copper pounding and a watercolor. And she said, well, I made this one for my master's degree, and this one was the first one of this exhibition. So this is all I have left. It's the museum of her life. And I said, I'd really like to get some art. The only thing I can find is this. And then right as you go in the library on the left, there's a bronze, and it's Dorothy McLaughlin. So she's a sculptor. She did everything. It's the same as all the sisters. They did everything. She says, well, my art's all over the valley. Well, what do you mean it's all over the valley? Where do I find it? She goes, you just have to look. And I'm like, well, why didn't you keep any of it? Well, sometimes we needed scholarships. There were students, some of you, who needed a scholarship, and the sisters magically found money. They were selling off the art. They would sew dresses. The ones that did home economics would sew dresses. They'd have a bake sale. They'd do whatever it was, and they'd keep on running. So the scholarships that all of you donate to are just to be a legacy of why I can't find any art from my office. But it's part of what the sisters were about, giving back, service to others, making sure the daughters of the coal miners had a place where they could go to school, and that would all work.